A wish comes true, and successful yet overbearing boss, Jordan Sanders, is transformed into her younger self, after which she goes on a journey where she reconciles with her past and makes friends along the way. The scene opens as the young Jordan Sanders peeps through the curtains at the sea of students sitting in an auditorium. As soon as they all see her, they start booing and laughing at her, but today is the day when Jordan has decided to show them that she is more than what they see. The clever and confident Jordan has prepared a well-thought-out science project in order to show them her intelligence. The experiment goes well, and for a moment, she feels like she has won. But her victory only lasts a minute. One of the bullies gets up from her chair and messes up Jordan's project, resulting in her falling off the stage. Bruised, Jordan's wheelchair is being pushed by her parents when she wishes that she was another person. Her parents hear this and advise her to stay strong, as one day, she'll probably become successful, and will be above all of them. Unbeknownst to them, that was the day when Jordan decided to be a bully when she grew up. Years since that day have passed, and Jordan has become the owner of her own tech company. She resides in an auspicious and modern apartment where she is the queen. Jordan wakes up but is instantly annoyed when she sees that her slippers aren't where they are supposed to be, and that's when she asks her visual assistant, Homegirl, to call April. April, Jordan's assistant, is the complete opposite of her boss. She is kind and considerate, but ultimately pays the price for being nice by getting bullied by Jordan. She is peacefully in the middle of her meditation when a call from Jordan spoils the only free time she gets in the day. Jordan scolds her for not doing her job properly and even forbids her from sleeping when she is calling her. Nevertheless, April ignores Jordan as she is used to her bickering at this point and makes her way to the office. Jordan suddenly realizes that Trevor, the guy she spent the night with, is still here. Trevor is a nice guy, but Jordan isn't here for any commitments. She slowly walks into the kitchen and instantly gets mad at him for not leaving earlier. Jordan has built walls around her and wouldn't let anyone through. Trevor tries to reason with her but instead gets pushed out of her apartment. Her neighbor, Mrs. Parker, sees all the commotion and berates her for doing that in front of her child, but Jordan doesn't care. Jordan calls her daughter a man and even invites the little fellow over for some drinks and shuts the door in her face. Jordan goes about her life according to her own rules, as she continues to bully and boss around anyone who happens to cross her path. April is busy taking orders from Jordan on call when she accidentally bumps into Preston. They seem to like each other as both become shy and fidgety. After that heated encounter, April quickly makes her way to Jordan's office and begins putting things in order just the way Jordan likes, but the presence of Connor ruins it all. Connor is Jordan's best client and an arrogant one too. He sits on Jordan's chair with his feet up on her desk and announces that he is going to wait here in her office, despite April pleading with him to go in the waiting area. She knows that Jordan is going to flip when she sees him, but she has no other option but to do as he says. Right on cue, Jordan also arrives, and April breaks the news to the whole office so they can get to their positions quickly. Jordan comes into the building and the first thing she sees is a crowd gathered around a little girl called Stevie. She is showing them small childish magic tricks, and the crowd seems to be loving her innocence. But Jordan isn't here for any cute affectionate stuff. She leaves, and with a single order barked at the crowd, clears the area. Stevie innocently offers to show one of the tricks to Jordan but instead gets scolded by the angry adult. Jordan is already having a bad day, but it gets a lot worse when she finds out that Connor is waiting for her in the office. Nevertheless, with a fake smile plastered on her face, Jordan greets Connor. He is her biggest client and there is nothing he does that she can object to, even his feet above her desk. Out of nowhere, Connor announces that he is going to move firms, and this shocks Jordan. She cannot lose him, especially amidst the launch of her virtual assistant, Homegirl. He seems adamant about his decision, but after Jordan begs him for one chance, he gives in. Connor needs a gaming app and Jordan promises to build him the best one he's ever seen. If Jordan gets into trouble, then that means that her whole team has to suffer her wrath. Jordan calls for a meeting so that they can discuss new ideas for the gaming app, but none of their suggestions impress Jordan. Instead, Jordan keeps insulting anyone who would come up with an idea, even going as far as licking the apple of one poor guy. April too has an idea. In fact, she had this idea for a long time but was too afraid to say it out loud to Jordan. Preston knows about it too and keeps budging her to just say it, but she doesn't. Jordan threatens to fire them if they don't come up with a great idea and dismisses them. The room clears, and April, who was quiet, finally seizes the opportunity and tells her that she has an idea, but before she can even get it out, Jordan stops her. Jordan asks April to consider that she is merely an assistant, and she would never take suggestions from someone in that position. Stevie sees Jordan belittling April and stands up to her. April has always been nice to Stevie, so she doesn't understand why anybody would be so mean for no reason. Jordan explains that she suffered from people mocking her when she was a child, so when she got big, she made sure that she was the one bullying and not the other way around. The little amateur magician, instead of backing down, takes out her magic wand and makes a wish. Nothing happens instantly, but Jordan feels something she can't explain. She orders April to throw Stevie out while she keeps screaming at the rest of her employees. The next day when Jordan wakes up, it turns out that Stevie's wish was actually granted. Jordan is little. She is back to her younger self but is still unaware of this fact. Unknowingly, Jordan starts her day like she always does, but this time, something is different. She comes out of an elevator and pushes the boy just like she would do every other day, but this time, he pushes her back. She lets it go, thinking she'll take back her revenge later, but when she tries to cut in line for a coffee, everyone insults her and calls her a child. She takes a look at her reflection and that's when she finds out that something is very wrong with her. Seeing a child running around with expensive adult stuff, people call a security guard. But Jordan manages to dodge them and runs back to her apartment. Mrs. Parker sees her, but she manages to convince her that she is Jordan's surprise child. At home, Jordan cannot believe what's happening to her. She looks at herself in the mirror but doesn't recognize herself. Jordan pulls out a box that has all of her old stuff. There she sees a picture of herself from when she was in middle school and that's when it all clicks in her head. April, who Jordan extensively messaged to come, has also arrived. The first thing she says when she sees Jordan is cute. This probably offends Jordan, but she is in no position to scold her for that. Instead, she asks April if she is seeing the child too. Jordan laughs, thinking that she is joking, and calls out Jordan, but gets no answer. Little Jordan reveals that she truly is Jordan, but April still doesn't believe it. To prove that she is her, Jordan tells April one of her secrets that no one except her knows, and that's what finally convinces her. April is more fixated on Jordan's glow up. This infuriates Jordan, but there is nothing she can say. Instead of how she would normally bark orders at April, this time, she politely asks her for help. April only agrees after April calls her ma'am respectfully. They are searching the web for some answers on Jordan going back to her middle school Jordan's body, when Jordan suddenly remembers Stevie. She was the one who wished she would become little, and it came true. Jordan suggests that they should kidnap Stevie and keep her until she tells them the truth. On the other hand, April doesn't share Jordan's psychopathic thoughts and thinks it's wiser to just ask her nicely. Jordan takes out some wine to ease her mind, but just then, a knock on the door alerts them both. Jordan goes to the door, thinking that it's probably her noisy neighbor, but it turns out that it's the child services agent, and Mrs. Parker is the one who called them. Jordan and April lie to the woman, saying that April is Jordan's aunt who is acting as her guardian since her father is away. They keep lying to her, even calling Barack Obama Jordan's father. Agent B is suspicious but ultimately believes them. Jordan thinks that it's over, but the nightmare has just begun. Agent B orders April to enroll Jordan in the school, or else she'll go to jail and put Jordan in foster care. Moreover, the school assigned to her is just not any other school, but the same middle school Jordan went to in her childhood. Jordan has to go to school, but she also cannot leave her company. She asks April to be in charge till she is gone, but April has one condition. She will do it only if Jordan promotes her to the creative executive position. This is the last thing that Jordan wants to do right now, but she gives up, knowing that there is nothing else that she can do. Vince, a valet at her building whom Jordan has also bullied before, is hesitant to give them the keys, but April makes up a lie that this is Jordan's niece, and he agrees. The ride to the school is horrible as this is April's first time driving such an expensive car. Nevertheless, they make it out alive, but just a glimpse of Jordan's old middle school brings back all the horrible memories from the past. She refuses to go, but April has had enough. April drags Jordan out, and when she still refuses to go, April decides to whoop her, the old-fashioned way. Jordan proves to be an equal and worthy opponent as she successfully dodges all her attacks. In the end, April manages to distract Jordan with her designer bag and takes back control of the fight. April eventually wins the round. Inside the school, Principal Mr. Hands greets them and introduces them to Jordan's teacher, who turns out to be no less attractive than a Greek god. Both of them are smitten by his beauty, but only April manages to charm him. After a long-lasting handshake, April leaves and Mr. Marshall takes her to the class. The students are exactly how Jordan had imagined. Instead of getting a warm and fuzzy welcome, students give her the silent treatment. However, Jordan is confident and knows how to handle the situation. She, without any fear, introduces herself to the class while students keep making fun of her. One thing that Jordan makes abundantly clear is that she will be the dominant one, and if someone messes with her, they will be punished. One of the popular girls named Jasmine rudely interrupts Jordan's introduction, and instead invites everyone to Spirit Day. She even makes fun of Jordan's hair. Mr. Marshall comes up to Jordan and tells her to stay strong, but at the moment, Jordan isn't worried about them. She flutters her eyelashes at him and asks him if he is feeling what she is feeling. After the first few failed attempts, he gets what she is suggesting and Mr. Marshall is horrified. He nervously tells her to go and sit in her seat. Jordan complies as he is the teacher and she is the student, but not before she calls him Mr. Hard to Get. At lunch, students come and stick straws in Jordan's head without her even knowing. She looks into the sea of children sitting in the cafe and becomes nervous. As she begins to walk towards them, all the students start laughing. Jordan ignores them and tries to sit at different tables, but all of them refuse her a seat. She is marked for bullying and no one wants to be associated with her. When all hope seems lost, a group of outcasts offers her a seat at their table. With a hair full of straws, Jordan joins and thanks them for saving her from further embarrassment. They all share why they were outcasted and Jordan can see why. Turns out all of them have hidden talents. Isaac, who normally stutters, can sing perfectly. They are hopeful that once they show their talent in the pep rally, everyone is going to accept them, but Jordan knows that it's not true. She used to think the same when she was their age. Raina, one of the outcasts, takes out a straw stuck in Jordan's hair. Jordan, enraged by this, stands up and calls out the people who did it, but instead, everyone laughs at her. Jasmine and Co smirk at her, indicating they were the culprits. Moreover, they have also started making fun of her over the internet. Jordan ignores them and goes to pick up the food she ordered, but Mr. Marshall comes in between her and her food. He lets her know that such deliveries are not allowed in the school, and that proves to be the last straw for Jordan. Now she thinks that even Mr. Marshall isn't worth chasing and calls April to come and save her from the little demons she is surrounded with. April, on the other hand, is panicking as well. She is going to be in her first meeting ever and Jordan needs to guide her through it. The meeting starts but no one is paying any attention to April. April is the complete opposite of Jordan and this is one of the reasons why she is unable to control them. Preston tries to help April but it's all in vain as they all start to get up and leave. Jordan orders April to do something crazy, and she does, but it's not what everyone expected. April shrieks and runs up to a recycle bin, trying to lift it up. Everyone stops for a moment and looks at her, but after a while, they all still eventually leave, thinking that April has gone crazy. Jordan and April meet up in a restaurant where April is given a kid's menu. After she threatens the man's life, he leaves quickly and they begin discussing Jordan's problem. Stevie's father used to run a donut truck, but before turning little, Jordan took them off their route. Now they have no way to find where little Stevie is, but April is still looking into it. Jordan and April bond over the topic of men as April tells Jordan that she is the boss, and no man should be able to hurt her. Jordan is insisting on a sip from Jordan's wine, and when April refuses, Jordan starts causing havoc in the restaurant. Everyone is shocked to see a little child sitting at a bar and singing. A girl accuses April of not being a great parent, and to prove her wrong, April too starts singing with Jordan. While the other people listening to their voices suffer, they have a great time together. April goes to drop Jordan off, but after Jordan insists that April stays the night, she agrees. April is braiding Jordan's hair and in the tenderness of the moment, Jordan opens up to April. She tells her that when she was a kid, she tried making friends, but whenever she would do so, she would always get hurt. That's why she stopped caring about other people. She never gave other people a chance to attack her because she would always be the one to attack them first. It hurts less this way. As they are talking, Trevor enters Jordan's apartment and the homegirl senses it. The lights are dimmed and suddenly a song starts playing. They both turn around and see Trevor dancing seductively while he rips off his shirt. April is enjoying the show while Jordan is horrified at what's happening. Finally, Trevor sees little Jordan and panics. At first, Trevor is confused about why there is a child in Jordan's apartment, but then he finds the answer for himself. Trevor thinks that the reason why Jordan has always been so closed off is that she is a single mom. Trevor happily accepts the child as his own and is amazed at how much she resembles her mom. Jordan, on the other hand, has had enough of his theories and drags him out of her apartment. Trevor leaves with hurrahs while April is still gushing over him. The next day, Jordan is still afraid of going back to school because of Jasmine. April thinks that Jasmine is more similar to Jordan than she thinks so. Nevertheless, April tells Jordan that her becoming little is not a tragedy, but an opportunity. She could do things differently this time around. That's when Jordan decides to stun everyone. Jordan picks out the best dress and does what she promised to do, stuns everyone around. Even Jasmine acknowledges her in the hallway. Jordan's friends are excited about Winchella's auditions, but not her. At the auditions, they try to convince Jordan to come with them on the stage, but she refuses, considering what she went through when she was there the last time. Isaac goes on the stage, but due to nervousness, cannot even get a word out. Jasmine is the one judging the acts, and as soon as she sees him stuttering, she tells him to get off the stage while making fun of his speech. Raina and Devin run onto the stage to help him out. Instead of blowing them away like they planned to, their dance proves to be awful. Surprisingly, Jasmine tells them that they are in. But nobody understands Jasmine more than Jordan. Jordan tells the kids that Jasmine only did that because she is going to embarrass them more in Winchella, but they don't listen to her. Jordan thinks that now the only way to save them is by showing others that they are better than them. She takes them to her apartment and the kids cannot believe how rich she is. Jordan's plan is simple. Let the other kids know that they are the best group and they are missing most of the fun by not hanging out with these kids. Homegirl sets the mood by playing fire music while the kids get a makeover. They post videos and pictures of themselves having fun, and it seems like their plan is working as they get more and more likes. Jordan tells them to forget Winchella and seeing all the glitter around them, even the kids agree. They leave happy and satisfied while Trevor walks out of the elevator with toys. Seeing him there, Jordan invites him in. On the other hand, April is nervous about the next pitch meeting, but Preston encourages her to do her best. He advises her that the only mistake she is making is trying to be like Jordan when she can do this perfectly while being herself. Hearing this, April gets all the motivation she needs and gets inside the meeting room. This time the meeting is actually going well. Every employee feels like they were heard. Just as everyone is still getting their ideas out, Connor walks in like a villain in a superhero movie. April texts Jordan for help, but she is busy talking with Trevor. Trevor spills all that is in his heart. He tells her that he knows under all that skin, Jordan is actually a gentle person. Jordan thinks that he is only doing this for her money, but Trevor surprises her when he tells her that he is actually a very successful artist. Jordan never asked him that, yet he is still here because he cares about her. Things quickly take an awkward turn when they hug, but the hug lasts longer than Trevor expected. He breaks free from Jordan's tight embrace and leaves quickly. Back in the office, Connor is still grilling April. April blurts out her idea of a game called Discover Eyes. She tries to change the topic, but Connor wants to hear more about her idea. Later, Jordan and April get into an argument when April tells Jordan that she pitched her idea in front of Connor. Jordan calls April selfish for going behind her back. She even calls her idea stupid when she hasn't even heard about it. This proves to be the last straw for April. With a bagel in her mouth, April announces that she is quitting. Jordan later overhears some of her employees wishing that she never comes back, and this unexpectedly hurts her feelings. Jordan asks God for a sign, and she gets one when she sees Raina's post on the internet. That's when she knows that she has to rectify some of her mistakes. Jordan successfully tricks Vince and takes the car. April is busy collecting her things from the office when a man comes up and gives her the address of the same donut truck that belongs to Stevie's father. At first, April throws it in the dustbin, but being the good-hearted person that she is, she decides to help Jordan nevertheless. April calls Jordan and tells her that she has the address of the donut truck, but she has to hurry up if she wants to meet them. Jordan is caught in the middle, but she decides to help her middle school friends instead. So instead of going to Stevie, Jordan drives to her middle school. At the school, Jordan sees her friends sulking in their seats. She encourages them to perform, but they are too scared. Jordan advises them to not let their fears hold them down, but when they still don't get up, she decides to do something crazy. Jordan gets on the stage in the middle of Jasmine's act and starts dancing. April and Stevie are also here, and they cannot believe that it's Jordan up there. At first, people don't like Jordan's dance moves and ask her to get off the stage, but slowly and surely, they start to vibe with her. As the music gets louder, Jordan's moves get crazier. Jasmine, seeing all the support Jordan is getting, tries to ruin it, but this time Jordan has friends. Seeing their friend in trouble, they get on the stage. The group thanks Jordan for standing up for them and are almost off the stage when Isaac walks back under the spotlight and starts singing. He enchants everyone with his voice, and seeing the loud cheer from the crowd, the rest of the crew joins him too. This time their dance moves aren't as wacky as before. Instead, they are more synchronized and the performance is well executed. Even Jordan joins them and the crowd absolutely loves it. Once the show is over, her friends thank her for being there for them when they needed her the most. When they all leave, Jordan turns around to find April and Stevie behind her. Seeing that Stevie is finally here, Jordan gets in position. After making sure that Jordan isn't going to be mean anymore, Stevie, with her magic wand, wishes for Jordan to grow up like before, but nothing happens. Jordan even takes her wand and tries herself, but still, nothing changes. Feeling defeated, Jordan and April are walking back when Jordan confesses that April's app is actually really great. She never gave her a chance because she was jealous of her. And then April hears the words that she never thought Jordan was capable of saying. Jordan apologizes to April. Now that Jordan has finally accepted herself, she is willing to let other people be themselves too. Jordan encourages April to go and pitch her idea even without her. April's success would mean Jordan's success. They hug as Jordan calls April her first and true friend. The next day, Jordan wakes up the same way as she always does and tries to wear her glasses, but they are too small. Jordan is back to her real self. She goes to the washroom, and that's where she sees herself clearly for the first time. She isn't a child anymore. Jordan runs through her apartment in celebration of her being back. April is in the meeting with Connor when Jordan makes her great appearance. April cannot believe her eyes and is too stunned to speak. Jordan takes her seat and asks April to do her best. April stands up and starts giving the presentation on the app, explaining that this app will change the world around them into something more exciting. Connor stops Jordan midway and announces that he didn't like the app. He leaves after telling Jordan that they had a good run together. Seeing it's the end, all the employees in the meeting also go out, leaving Jordan and April alone. April tries to apologize, thinking it's her fault, but Jordan tells her to not give up. April is happy to hear that and agrees with her. 3 months have passed, and Jordan is finally together with Trevor. Outside the office, Jordan shouts in a megaphone, telling her employees to come outside. They are all sulking, including April, because Discover Eyes was rejected many times. But just as they thought all hope is lost, Jordan reveals that Discover Eyes is finally sold. It ends up being the biggest deal made in the history of the company. Jordan has rebranded her company's name as JSI and Associates. The associates in question include April. It calls for a celebration, and Jordan has arranged everything for it. She even invited her middle school friends to test the app. When they come, she hugs all of them enthusiastically. Homegirl plays the song on cue, and everyone dances with joy and love.